Ought to be playing the Kid Leroy. Never even heard of this guy. Now let's go to Save the World and get my V-Bucks real quick. Man, where do I start for you guys? We're gonna be before you guys long. It's like what, 9:57? I'll possibly play till like 11:30. I gotta get some stuff off my chest. I don't know if anybody will necessarily watch this, see this, but I mean, it doesn't care. I mean, I kind of don't care, do care and stuff, but you know, sometimes like streaming and stuff is therapeutic for me in a sense. A lot of stuff off my mind. I guess, like, you know, I'm free to talk. What are my thoughts on the landscape of gaming? To me, gaming is not what it once used to be. A lot of this stuff is just a sunk cost. I'm not mad at anybody who gets a review copy on the game. The best game I've played at all, Elden Ring. I'm close to beating that as well, but I have to watch a few more videos on that. I'm very close to beating that. Just overall, I don't feel like there's that many games that's expensive. I hope they have another Souls game, because we'll be pre-ordering that. I know that Forspoken game, it looks good, but again, not for $70. There's other stuff I'm just thinking about just in general, like life. I'm trying to get the most out of it, I guess. Money comes and goes, people come and go, this, that, and the third. Might get myself another controller, but I'm not gonna do that per se. I'm not trying to spend that much money on a controller, so bear with me. I got my like tax stuff. I'll check my student stuff. I am a student. I'm just thinking about the landscape of things I invest. You know, the stock market's been terrible for what, like the last 2 years, really. I say a year and a half. Everybody was trying to sell the war in Ukraine. I don't really believe that. Honestly speaking, I think money's a concept. Money's a concept. I mean, I've been saying that. Pretty much, I look at the analytical data for certain stuff. Gold, I think the last time I checked was like $1,933 an ounce. I'm not sure what the price is today, but since I'm typing in that industry, I'm gonna have to look at that, formulate something around that or whatnot. But my main thing is watches. I love watches. This is my thing. I watch a lot of watch videos, try to educate myself, you know, past a few things. It's always good to learn something. I learned how Aldous is just like a big watch collector, neurologist. You know, I'm in the same thing. I love watches. Not necessarily for the investment standpoint. I feel like every man should have a solid watch or whatnot. Necessarily matter of the name in a sense, as long as someone's comfortable with the products, someone doesn't sell somebody some crap. I think that's the biggest thing. And you know, the interesting thing about, like, you know, there's certain stuff like sales. The most interesting thing I think about sales in a sense is like, This is the thing that I think that about, like, just current conditions of certain stuff about gaming. Gaming isn't once what it used to be. I know probably because I got older in a sense, and playing games just a way of, me and my friends, really just enjoying I'm not bad, like, this is my first game back in a while. I've been on Overwatch, I just haven't been streaming that. Really YouTube, I only watch content mainly. Look at certain stuff, but one thing I realized, especially thinking about certain stuff, taste is very subjective. I mean, that's always a thing, but in the grand scheme of things, when we talk about price point and accessorizing, that's really a big market for certain people. This guy's a bot. To me, the burst is better. This is terrible loot. If someone asks me about a Super Bowl, I'm not even necessarily even really that stoked for Super Bowl. I don't even know what even having Super Bowl at. For one, I know when the date is, like second week of February. I'm not necessarily looking forward to the Super Bowl per se, like for the not necessarily for like the actual event, but like I don't know. It's gonna be busy. Wings. The wings I've been getting here lately, they've been subpar. Most of the food I've been eating here is subpar, not necessarily for the price. It's pretty I would say steep. Like earlier today, I had this salmon Alfredo. The one thing about it, the noodles and for what it was, it came out cold. Wasn't necessarily bad. I gave the place like that item for the best thing about the stuff was the shrimp and grits. I wish I would have got that. Probably it was a whole lot better tasting. The base of stuff they had with the shrimp and grits was a whole lot better. The cheese and the shrimp and grits, everything came together with the salmon Alfredo wasn't what I thought it was. And to me, it's like you put a cross between a smoked ribbed or smoked andouille sausage, and it had the taste of a smoked andouille sausage compared to salmon and some type of Cajun seasoning. And I'm not. People shouldn't be experimenting. Something shouldn't taste like it came out of a smoker. Like it's been smoking for a few hours or something like that. It shouldn't taste like a smoked brisket, smoked charcoal type of taste to it. Not necessarily a fan. in some ways I'm like laughing about certain stuff. To me, like I said, I think style and taste is suggestive. Um, Nothing wrong. I mean, some type of people's food, in a sense, or their cooking, their style of cooking. I think sometimes a place could have been good, maybe in the past, or they have kinks. Need to work on their staff. Not necessarily staff, but work on their cooks, their line cooks, or whoever they got. So far, I think like this week, I think the most of the restaurants I've been to have been pretty. Been like, I say it's not exactly been that memorable. I think like a lot of stuff like the movies, everything is going down like the last 3 years. People were focusing on the money aspect. I mean, everybody's a consumer at the end of the day. We might not think it. Everybody's a consumer. Like a movie, they have to buy products to produce movies. Cameras, they have to have staff. Oh my god! I almost had this guy, man. I died. I already got a dub, but I mean, it hurts. To lose, it is what it is. Like, let me get back what I'm saying. I feel like in this day and age and certain stuff, like with jobs and the economy and all this type of stuff, people are spending money. People want to make money. People want to sustain themselves and this, that, and the third. But like I think everybody is a consumer. Believe it or not, everybody is a consumer. Um, I think working for a company in itself, like doing sales position, that's not necessarily a good job because they can cut those jobs anytime. Like if you're a sales rep and you get, I don't know, you're top of your company or certain stuff like that, you might be a real talent. Has nothing to do with you, but they need to cut down their base costs in a sense that they have so many people. People might be out of work. Like, let's say someone's a good, like, senior software engineer, senior software manager. They live in California or something like that. Most of that stuff is like, remote now. They probably hybrid. They had these people come back in or whatnot, 500,000. 500,000, that's a very good in a sense. Someone has the opportunity to do remote work. They can basically do that from anywhere. And, can move to a place that's cheaper, get themselves an apartment or rent themselves an apartment and go from there. Maybe have a car. They have a wife, kids, and family. I mean, I think they're still probably doing great. Home and probably California is probably like $1.5 million. So you got to put 20% down and then or whatnot. And you basically are paying 30-year loan. So you break that up in payments of like 12 or whatnot, and you probably refinance, do something else. But honestly speaking, I don't really think of real estate as an asset. I just kind of don't. Unfortunately, for the most part, I don't see it as an asset because sometimes you have to wait stuff out from both perspectives. You could buy a house and look at the housing market for your home or something like that, and it'll be, I don't know, pretty solid. And then the next moment it drops like $150,000 to $200,000. Hype, hype really drives up the price of certain stuff. For one, I'm always gonna stick to that. I didn't get my crown last game. I got it now. Someone was asking me today about like what do I think about like just going through different things, or not anything bad, but like how you perceive something. I told the person like you have internal, external factors like I don't know, like how do you get somebody younger to listen to you? I mean, at the end of the day, it's not our job to try to sell a concept that's necessarily foreign to people in a sense. Not necessarily foreign, I feel like trying to explain somebody something in the grand scheme of things, sometimes it just doesn't make sense to do that. And the moment that you try to do that, you're pretty much gonna lose. the one thing I can honestly say is like truly unique, and it's I'm not a monkey see, monkey do type person. Like, nobody can really influence style. Style is subjective, or anything like that, or your viewpoints on certain things. Like mine might be a little bit different than other people in a traditional sense. Like, everybody needs to have their own sense of style. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think interior design is cool. There's not that many people doing that in a sense. Like, a home, like a lot of homes that I've seen around here look the same. Everybody has the same concept of a home. Everybody has the same of everything, really. I just don't like that. Me, I like variety. I like I don't necessarily say unheard of stuff, but it just caters to my taste in a sense. I think fast fashion is really going to be a fad that goes out quick. I think Fashion Nova or all these different type of brands are going to be unable to sustain growth in the near coming future, because like Fashion Nova and all these companies, people are spending a lot of money with them. Like what I don't want to butcher it, or Shein or Sheen, whatever, however you say it. Hopefully, I'm saying it correctly. Those are like cheap stuff. Like everybody's trying to do a clothing brand, or everybody's trying to do a line to promote something. In all honesty, to me, that's kind of tacky. If everybody's doing the same thing, everybody's wearing the same thing, everybody's sense of style is the same thing, what does that mean about the whole market of certain stuff? To me, fast fashion or clothes, textiles, I think that is a business. Everybody has their own sense of clothing, styling, this, that, and the third. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think a lot of this stuff is going to be sustainable long term. So I'm probably like, what are you talking about long term? But let's say, for instance, I don't know. What is something I think going out pretty fast that I don't think retains value that much? Let's say, for instance, the Scat Pack. Everybody has a Scat Pack. If someone likes a Scat Pack, okay, that's fine. I'm not a fan of the Scat Pack. And it's not necessarily because everybody has them. It's just not necessarily a car I would even drive. Really, cars, in my opinion, they're a waste of money. People can make money with cars. People can flip cars or whatnot. The principle is the same pretty much for anything. The thing is not to overpay that much money for anything, really, in order to be profitable. But at a certain point, you start flipping cars, you have to have a license to start doing that. Cars are, to me, quite a lot of maintenance. Watches, in a sense, they require maintenance and servicing. Put oils and certain stuff back into stuff. Check the gears. That type of stuff can be expensive. I think watches retain or hold most of their value, like the brands. For my next talking point, like, I just don't think that cars are really gonna. Me, I find cars hard to sell. Just like, with anything, certain industries, I think it's gonna get bad out here for a recession. I don't necessarily think it's going to be 100% bad, but I can't tell. Because, like, Microsoft, all these people, they're cutting off jobs. Places and things are going bankrupt, and I feel like I know why certain things are going bankrupt. Like Bed Bath and Beyond is going bankrupt. Those type of stores, they serve their purpose. Like they were good. The stuff, the offering selection they got, but at the end of the day, place going bankrupt has to do with their CEO. Some people don't have a good track record when it comes to businesses in terms of leadership. So, take for instance JCPenney. JCPenney used to be a brand that was good, had back to school shopping for kids, various different things, and it went bankrupt. And pretty much all the stores are closed, and it's a shell of its former self. And the offerings were slim pickings. But I feel like that's the same thing across multiple industries. A lot of stuff is slim pickings. The prices going up, and for crappy or subpar or pretty much less than mediocre stuff, whether it be service, whether it be offerings, and the price is hiked. The one thing I can enjoy about, I'll probably say like watches or something like that. For the most part, you get what you paid for in a sense. Some stuff, it retains its value in a sense. Like if you want to move on from a watch and pretty much sell it is good. What was I gonna say? But yeah, I think a lot of stuff is slim pickings. Like when there's not that much, a lot of stuff is not necessarily consumer friendly. When I think about, like, someone was talking about customer service, or I say Netflix. I'll go into my thing. I think Netflix is slim pickings now. Ah, man. Knew that buffoon was up there. Another thing I'm realizing, everybody's sense of, I don't know. A lot of places, I don't know what's the hype about, and a few things. Like, I went to the seafood place one time, and they messed up chicken tenders, and chicken tenders are fairly... I didn't even see that guy. I'll play one more, and I'm probably gonna watch some more videos on a few things. I know people are talking about the Fed, what they're doing is going to affect the stock market. I think yes and no, because I mean, at the end of the day, when it's going to be said and done with money, people are either going to short their positions and people are going to either long their positions, keep on adding money. Maybe the smart thing that I do, I dollar cost average. I was looking back at my portfolio, what it was worth. A few, how can I say, possibly like let's say 5 months ago. And I think that it's kind of gone back up. I look at, one of them. I approximately made like, let's see, at like $64 in, and I made like $8. I mean, it's gone down a little bit, but I mean, I think I'm good. What it's worth. Not going to be adding any money to my positions at all, because I mean, it's just no point. I looked at my profit and loss for this one coin. I transferred it out. It said I made $35 on the year compared to what I bought in and what I got. That's not exactly 100% true. Because I made more money than that, but I've added more certain stuff. So whenever it's a number that I'm comfortable with, I'll probably take like 10% of that. Hopefully in a few days, certain stuff gets to where I need it to be at, and then move on from there. But I don't think that's going to necessarily be my my ticket. I think crypto is good in a certain sense, but crypto and everything is manipulated. So like you don't know how to do like the long term thing. You're not going to be able to, in a sense, be able to get that the little edge you need. Like to me, selling a coin for let's say someone made $5 or something like that off a coin. Not $5. Let's say anywhere between $5 a coin per million they had. So they had like 64 million, and they made $5 off each coin that they had per million. Like me, The original thing I had, like, you know, let's say Shiba at all-time high. I had about like 11. I had like 11 or 12 million. So I had like $1,000 was as all-time high. I necessarily didn't sell. I wasn't going to sell. And depending on what it does, you know, Shibarium's about to come out. I'm still not going to sell, I don't think. I'm not going to sell. You know, I've been holding stuff like for 2 years. I mean, I'm really diamond handing my coins, but I realize crypto and certain stuff is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I think crypto is good. Like, if I ever have, like, you know, my dream job being my own boss in a sense, I think I would still mine. I have a little mining rig just to say so I have something, you know, passive income. I have like a little stock room or certain stuff where I have dedicated time, like an hour and a half each day, where I go in that room and I look at how my stuff is performing, just that and the third, have fun with it, or put like a basis of $1,000 and then try to grow my money that way, like $1,000, and trade that into being like I'll probably say like $100,000 or something like that, just to challenge myself. I think I could do that. You know, with crypto, I've made money, and I've also missed out on money in the sense that I didn't take profits. Me, I don't think about taking profits necessarily. I have a number. When I hit, I'll probably take 10% of whatever I got. I try to get myself some land or something tangible. Always have a home or something like that. That's first thing first. There's always somewhere I can lay my head. Like, you know, someone asked me, like, you know, land a job, you know, you're making good money. In a sense, I always think you should have a retirement fund, or me, I'm more like I'm doing Roth IRA or something like that. And then, main focus for me is a will. Definitely getting some person, some land, setting up a shell company, buying property, not to sell it, or certain stuff, just live quietly. Live quietly. Live comfortably, I guess. This, that, and third. What's some other things I'm thinking about in terms of business? I remember someone was possibly saying, like, you know, how to make money. To me, I don't think real estate is necessarily a great way to make money, because you always have to sell somebody something. I mean, everything, if you really think about it, you have to sell somebody something. Like the food we eat. A job necessarily isn't even a job if you really think about it. The world revolves around, you know, tasks. You either do the task, you know, get paid, get a little paycheck or whatnot. But I think the thing is with, you know, just business and, you know, life, I guess, is, you know, you get a skill set, you educate yourself, or try to get certifications. You'll try to get diplomas or certificates, you know, increase your money. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I have multiple certifications, and I'm supposed to go to San Diego soon. Looking forward to that. Approximately 3 weeks. Got to make plans for that. I'm just ready to get away from, I need a vacation, really. That's what it's about. This is terrible. I'll leave this game and, I'll play like a few more. But yeah, I definitely think, like, with crypto, I have an exit plan. I'm not selling my coins at all. Unless it's a specific, you know, amount and I'm looking at the number. I don't believe in taking profits per se. I just don't. I mean, that could be a good thing and a bad thing depending on who you're talking to. To me, profit taking doesn't make that much sense. Like, again, if you're going to short something and, you know, in a sense you made like $2 or something, or $3 or $40, that's minimal. Like, to me, that doesn't make that much sense. But if you had like hundreds of dollars, you're taking out your initial investment, I mean, that's fine too. I don't see a point of doing that. Like, for instance, I sold Dogecoin on accident, and I'm glad I did at that time. People talking about Dogecoin is going to get to $1. Dogecoin will never get to $1. If Dogecoin stays at like 8 cents or 9 cents, which I think is currently trading at, I think that's fine. There's not necessarily any money to be made with Dogecoin. It's terrible. I made money at Dogecoin. I probably made like $700 off Dogecoin at all time high, but I sold it and I got around like $400. So I put in like, you know, I made like $396, 400, so kind of $400 off of Dogecoin. Our initial $100 investment. Dogecoin, I'm not a fan of Dogecoin. I still own a little bit of Doge, but like the amount I got is so insignificant. It's funny at the same time me even mentioning it. Needless to say, I think crypto needs to be more, I wouldn't say necessarily regulation, but there's a lot of factors coming into play. Banking, institutions, or people, or the self-interest groups are rising the price, jacking the prices up to unprecedented highs. And then just as soon as it gets to where they think the baseline is, they're pulling their money, they're telling you it's going to go higher and higher, and you're being extra liquidity. That's kind of problematic in my opinion. And very problematic, really. Just like when Shiba hit like, you know, 0.000, like 4 zeros and a 9. I looked at my thing, you know, my accounts and certain stuff. That's probably the most money I've ever had in a sense. I hope it does it again. You know, if it goes up to, it loses a 0 and a 1, I'll have pretty decent money with that. I'm not necessarily banking on that, but if it hits, you know, a few things, I might take profits. I might take like 10%. I have a number, and I don't think I'm necessarily going to take like half. I feel like the only way that you're going to make money is kind of being your own boss, or just try to find creative ways to make money. And make sure that it's legal. So I had this thing where I pretty much formulated my own thing about how money works. I say 40% of your money is like, the more money you make is going to probably go to taxes. 20%, you know, you probably need to invest. 25% of that needs to go to, I guess, saving, and then like 25% could be spending, but really needs to be close to like 17%. Other 5, do whatever you want with it. Then like 17, and then 1%, whatever, you know, based off that. Like, if someone has like, you know, $10 million, they can live off compound interest. I feel like another thing too, in a sense, money, in a sense, I wouldn't say it would cause problems. But I think the biggest thing is being a consumer, not being financially educated on money. Like, you're not getting paid a lot of money, you're spending the majority of your money nah, I don't know. You can go broke fast. Right now, I'm a student in a career field or whatnot. I'm almost fully professionally certified in diamonds, and so I think I'm good there. There's nobody here. And as much as I want to see somebody here. Okay. We'll leave this one because that was cheap. I really would probably play like one more. Let's see. How many things do I have for my battle pass? 45. So. But yeah, I really don't see the necessarily the growth of certain stuff over a period of time. Like jobs, I really don't see them paying a lot of people a lot of money per se. You're losing time. Time is everything. I know people say people need multiple revenue streams. When you really have like one and you make passive income, like you got certain stuff, I feel like you good. But a way to go broke in a sense is like you have not necessarily like a lifestyle that you're spending money like water or certain stuff like that. If you have like expenses that go over a certain thing, like if you go from $150,000 a year salary to, in a sense, getting laid off or something like that, and you won't have a few side hustles, like you actually have something tangible that you know you could sell, you're pretty much screwed in a sense. You're screwed. I was watching this thing about how people are struggling. There was this guy. I think he works like like a janitorial thing or something, or he works like in a kitchen. He does a janitor job. He works at like I think Apple. Worked at Apple, and I think he had like a part-time job. He did like janitorial, and like he worked at like a doggone kitchen or something that they had in one of their little campuses. He had a girlfriend, and he had twins on the way, and he's only making like, this is way back when, he's only making like $13 an hour or something like that. This was before California raised their minimum wage or whatnot. He was living in a garage. Him and his girlfriend living in a garage. You got like twins at $13 an hour. Having kids, $13 an hour. living in the garage. That sounds like a horror story. And twins. It's not even necessarily about the twins and stuff like that. That's really poverty when you think about it. That's no laughing matter. I also think about people say education doesn't matter. I think education does matter, and I feel like a lot of people stop saying that. Schooling is like one thing. Like, I don't know, my schooling experience hasn't necessarily been easy. To be honest with you guys, it hasn't been easy or whatnot, but I don't know. Where are these people at? Dumbass. What the, bro? I didn't even see this guy. Holy moly. I didn't even see this guy. I'll play like one more for real. I'll just go over some few things. I think the subscription-based thing needs to go. The subscription-based model needs to go away. One of the reasons everybody's doing it. A flat-out fee is a whole lot better than a subscription, in my opinion. Another thing that I'm still thinking about is people are trying to charge money for a baseline of search so that you can get off of the internet and really form your own thing. Like, I take notes on a lot of things. I really need to start doing that again. I take notes on a lot of things about like market trends, exit plan or certain stuff like that. Just do that. But I feel like most people that Patreon, I don't necessarily hate the people's stuff. I'm listening to what they say, but the majority of the stuff people say is free. So it's not necessarily about the money component. I think these people are making money. They might have some respect to stuff, but I'm not paying for it. I mean, I like the people enough to like watch their content. But in terms of like shelling out money, that's a whole different other story. That's a completely different story. Like, if you were to ask me, like, these people have, like, steep, join them on Discord, or, be a student. The fee is, like, $20 a month or something like that. Honestly speaking, the $20 a month is, you might be getting some gems, you might be getting some stuff, but honestly speaking, the plays for Make It nowadays is just one and the same. People are talking about parlays. People are talking about, parlays. People are talking about FanDuel. It's pretty much the same thing. Sports betting, scratch-offs. I mean, you name it. Well, what's new in a sense? Options. If you really think about it, day trading in a sense is gambling too, pretty much. There's no guarantee that, a stock is going to go up. It's sometimes or like investing, that's basically what it is. It comes gambling. I'm gonna leave and come back to another game because that's not how that's supposed to end. I bounced off the thing. I know people are talking about the Fed supposed to raise the thing. Let me see what analysts are saying. This is one of the main things we're supposed to do. The Fed rates hike. It's at half a basis point. They need to go up half a basis point. Ideally, inflation and stuff is supposed to be 2.5%, 3%. Ideally, that's what it's supposed to be at. So when stuff was like 10.5%, that's pretty bad. I don't think the eggs and stuff cost no $10. That's kind of a scam in itself. Everything costs, but certain things are going to get you one way or another, but I don't know. Food. I know people talking about the price of wings were going up. Brutal Bastion. I'm gonna watch this black man who he's a diamond dealer. He still does it out in New York. I'm gonna watch that real quick. I'm gonna take some notes from him in a sense. Watch this video, take some notes, and go from there. I'm about to call it a night. I do think dumbass. Oh my god, I'll put one more because that was cheap. I'll put one more for real because that was cheap. That guy should have been eliminated just off the strength alone. It is what it is. But yeah, I just realistically, I don't see a lot of stuff being the way it is. I just don't. Like in terms of like movies, anytime that you really step out, you're spending about $100. I feel like that's kind of crazy. And then like I don't know, like food for what you're getting, what you're paying. Food should be okay, in my opinion. Like the food I've eaten this week, the majority of it, there's probably only like 2 things this week that's been hits. All the rest have possibly been misses. The best thing I probably had this week was like a burger. That's always kind of consistently been on point. I don't know what I want to eat tomorrow. There's something I'm thinking about. The best thing I had this week was, let's see, Achilles and, like I said, the burger. Best thing I had this week. Anything else, I really don't know. I know people are talking about certain diamonds and certain stuff that, like, are like cool or whatnot. Like Tiffany diamonds or Tiffany and Co diamonds, there's nothing special about them. It's just the name is protected by like trademark. So, and then the name, the history, so it's like what 1800s. So, nothing special about the brand itself. The actual brand of diamonds. Wow, I stood up here and died. I got crappy gun. One more for real and I'm out. Most of the stuff is in pretty bad. The most interesting thing I still think about is the Dogecoin millionaire. I like the dude's story or whatnot. He's like an A&R exec. He does music. He had like millions of dollars at one point. Like, I think he had like, I don't know, like 6 million or 4 million he didn't sell. They should at least have taken like 1 million. Or 2, and then like, had a hobby of his and made money off of it. Like, for instance, I have a better concept with money now. What's the smart thing to do with money? Like, number one, housing. Always having your housing and stuff. Your baseline of business. The house, a room, a roof to lay over your head, not worry about anything. 2, there's emergency funds, this, that, and the third. Your living expenses. To me, I want to see the world. I want to be able to eat healthy foods. Predominantly healthy foods. Like, I don't know. Like real healthy foods. Not necessarily steak all the time. like lamb or something like that. Incorporate new foods and stuff in my diet and eating lean, mainly lean foods. And occasionally, like, fried chicken or something like that. Some staple foods. Soul foods, in my opinion, I'm not necessarily a fan of soul foods. If you throwing down, like, you shouldn't be eating, fried chicken and macaroni and cheese and collard greens and French fries and fried chicken gizzards or all this type of stuff. That's just not good for you. Not good for your arteries. Or smothered pork chops or just crazy stuff. It's not good for your health. I might stay on a little bit, so I might stay on a little bit, talk a little bit more, but honestly speaking, like, the way stuff goes on, there's this guy, I watch his videos all the time, and then there was this Jewish man I watched, he talking about the Jewish way of finance. I don't really think that, what the guy said. There was someone that said that, there's just people that, people say that Jewish people dominate the sectors. I don't really think that that's 100% true. I'm not necessarily oblivious to certain stuff, but I don't necessarily think that's necessarily all true. Some of that stuff is racist and kind of anti-Semitic. And someone asked me, like, do I think what Kanye says there's some truth or validity to it? Not really. The only thing that I don't understand about, someone like Kanye West, in a sense, is how this guy's having a platform. Like, he's able to say potentially anything he wants to say. It's not being challenged, and people are using that. They're inviting him on the platform. He makes himself look even more bad, or in a certain light. He'll complain about something. You really don't know what he's going to do, and before you know it, in a sense, you'll see a resurgence of Kanye with some type of new headline. Like, we went on that show with Noriega and said this, that, and the third. Those guys, like, who's dying to hear a Kanye interview? Pretty much nobody. I just want to leave this game because I see nobody. I'm going to leave this game just because there's nobody in here. Or I didn't get a gunfight. Normally I like to get gunfights. So you see me leaving, I didn't like the location or whatever. That's why I left. But honestly speaking, I just did a lot of stuff, in my opinion. It doesn't really make that much sense. Like, people were still doing business with Kanye to a certain extent. I'm not necessarily mad about that. But it's like people are so desperate to make money or get recognition to a fault. That's kind of one of the main problems with certain stuff. Or like Kyrie. Kyrie got his Nike shoes heavily discounted. The thing that Kyrie says is, I don't think it's profound. Some of the statements he made need to be challenged. The Earth is flat. It's not. But I feel like there needs to be more accountability for everybody across the board, really. Need more accountability from everybody across the board. Like the NBA in itself, I don't know. Like most corporations or places like that, or most companies, what they're going to do is they're going to put money out of pretty much everywhere. There's nothing wrong with what they're trying to do. Like the NBA is trying to build like goals and get people to play basketball or whatnot. They're trying to put their footprint across the continents or certain stuff, discover new talent. I feel like it's not before long they're going to have, the NBA try to go and scout the next Luka Doncic. That's pretty much a younger kid, similar story, similar background, or something like that, and try to find and develop that, get into the league, make money off that, get into a team, highlight an aspect, component of the career. Luka, I think he's a very clever and crafty player, so I think he's kind of one of my favorites in the sense of untraditional basketball game. I mean, his team is trash. I mean, you guys score 34 points a game to keep your team afloat. That's problematic. And every night, that's neither here or there, but the footprint of most businesses, they're trying to reach the continents. Like Nike, whoever, there's some type of new athlete or somebody out here who's really fast. Let's say there's a fastest person in the earth. They have a story. Nike or anybody is going to try to get that person. As soon as a person gets a record, I think there's someone faster than Usain Bolt. Legitimately, there's someone faster. They're probably somewhere here in the world don't have a coach. Just been running. They've been running. They've been exercising or whatnot. They could possibly live in a rural place or underdeveloped place or whatnot. Might just be interesting. I know they said that there was this white sprinter that got speeds faster than Usain Bolt. To me, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not mad about that at all. Speaking of Usain Bolt, I'm thinking about business. Usain Bolt got his money stolen by a bank or whatnot. To me, that's crazy. Like $12 million. Usain Bolt was like 90 million. I found that interesting. I really found that interesting. He's worth like 90 million. They got 12 million of it. Well, Google's not accurate. I think Usain Bolt's probably worth like $120 million. Google's not necessarily always accurate with people's net worth. I mean, that's a good thing for privacy reasons or whatnot, but I mean, Usain Bolt also has his own brand. That's another reason he's a likable person. Pretty much no controversies. That's another reason why Usain Bolt is a favorite of mine in a sense. But let's get back to it. I think the way money is set up, like, you know, a lot of these athletes, in a sense, they don't make a lot of money. We have to think about it. They don't make a lot of money. The money they go through is their, you know, their real bread and butter is their sponsorships. Like, I was reading something like an Olympic athlete for getting gold only gets like $45,000 or $40,000 a medal or something close to that figure. $40,000. So if they got like, you know, 8 gold medals, they only made like, you know, $320,000 or whatnot. They don't sell it, they get a cash prize too. $40,000, that's a lot of money, but you might not be running for a while, and you know you can't support yourself necessarily with $40,000. Well, I think it actually depends on the country. Like, you know, if you got sponsorships. But I realize a lot of stuff too, like, you know, let's say if they had some type of flavored water that said Usain Bolt drinks. I think I'm not going to buy that. Like, or they had like a water infused with cranberry or something like that. I think I was in Jamaica once, or not long. They had like waters and stuff, like infused waters with like berries or certain stuff like that. Some energy drink. It might be backed by a few people or something like that, but it's not necessarily for the taste buds of certain people. Me, any type of water that's tangy or tart or something like that, or any type of fruit juice, I'm not going for it. I'm gonna try to get eliminated or get in a gunfight. Full stomach kill. Oh man. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Now, Usain Bolt has his own watch with a collaboration with like Hublot. Hublot doesn't necessarily make, I wouldn't say good watches, bad watches. It's just not, for what the price of what you're getting, if you like it, the price is pretty much, doesn't necessarily matter. Like you like a dress watch. I mean, they try to make sports watches, but they're just not necessarily always the best from a price perspective, and they don't retain their value. Well, I mean, Hublot, they have some nice pieces, but they're just not. It's hit or miss, very hit or miss. But yeah, Usain Bolt has his own little collaboration. I look at the watch, and it's not necessarily a particular good watch. It just sports the name. Like Floyd Mayweather had a deal with Hublot, and the watch is terrible. What's up, Splash? The watch is terrible. I feel like the day and age of being like a, I don't know, influencer getting paid. To me, that type of stuff isn't like being bad. Like people want to buy people stuff in a sense, or buy the influence of a person's page. But to me, you'll never see me promoting something I don't believe in or I haven't vetted for the sake of $1. Like a lot of people were talking about our Raid Shadow Legends and people giving them like a $10,000 check. I won't promote that. I understand that's a business. Someone seriously tried to, maybe it might start out as a good concept. The game is crap. I don't care if someone threw a $10,000 check to promote, Raid Shadow Legends, or it's just bad. I feel like there's nothing that make me change my mind about Raid Shadow Legends. From the standpoint, a lot of these games, I read a thing about how this man spent like, $60,000 on a terrible Transformer game, and he was a grown man. He just enjoyed the game. But I feel like a lot of stuff is made for people to be more addicted to it. Like $60,000 on a microtransaction of building a car, or getting the best Transformer, getting the best power-ups. It's just a scam. Just a scam. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I really don't see that many things for the foreseeable future of like, good games, good entertainment, or something like that. I just don't. Like, someone has to ask me, like, what do I think about, the best watch brands? To me, that's very subjective. I'm going to go with something probably technically good. Who are, I think, the best watch brands? I mean, I love independent brands or whatnot. I'm a fan of stuff at various price points. To me, who I think makes a good watch, just not Rolex, I'm going to say Jack Adro, Nomos Glass Shoot. They make, pretty decent looking watches. Let me think about it. Rado doesn't make good watches. They don't. I'm not going to say that. Breitling they failed to do anything innovative. But if anybody had to ask me who is my favorite watch brand right now, I would say number one on my list is Global 4C, they're like one of my, that's what my own, like, I don't know, my dream thing to own is a Global 4C. My favorite watch brand of all is Richard Mille, by far. But if we're talking about technical innovation, what they got going on, Global 4C is my, like, number one for technological innovation. But overall, it's RM. Got fun with that. I'll play one more. I'm for real off. Because that made me mad when that dude, I didn't see him. RM. My favorite type of dressy watch, a little bit like, you know, really innovative and just all around, you know, impressive is, let's see, FP Joint. They make good watches, in my opinion. They make limited runs. Let me see if they have a salmon dial. The one watch I do not like is Jacob & Co. FP Joint. Salmon dial. I'm still thinking about what someone said about, like, you know, watches, why they cost so much. I think for certain stuff, like the industry standard for like a tourbillon is like 100,000. The cheapest one you get is a Tag Heuer Carrera. That's like 15,000, but it's not necessarily worth that. It's probably worth like 11, between 11, because Tag Heuer hasn't really released good watches, in my opinion. They don't. The Tag Heuer Monaco, it's an ugly watch. You're paying like $7,000 for a terrible looking watch, in my opinion. Not worth it. I'd rather have a Jackie Draw compared to a Tag Heuer. The Jackie Draw, they have like a $5,000 watch, so I think that's a lot better. Or you can get yourself like three Tudors with that. So it doesn't make that much sense. It doesn't make that much sense. One thing I also realized, everybody goes for the same type of watch. I don't necessarily like that. I mean, taste is subjective like anything. Price point is another thing. Price is very important. Price is very important. What? Oh my god. I'm out, y'all. Peace.